What's up YouTube? It's Hot Horse here with Tasty Tracker. Today I wanted to give a quick update on the 2 to 10K challenge. The count is up this week, $222. That's a paper increase. I haven't cashed anything out, so there's still plenty of time for that to go up or down. The video I wanted to talk about, or the position I wanted to talk about primarily today was the EWW position. That's the Mexico ETF. And I originally put that on as a bearish hedge for my portfolio in case the market continued to go down. I also chose that because the virus counts were pretty low in Mexico and I thought that they would get an uptick. Fortunately for them and unfortunately for my position, but I'm happier that things are going well. It doesn't seem like either they're not testing or they're not having an increase. So hopefully things are going well down there. In either case, the market has gone up a bit and EWW has followed that for the most part. They're not exactly correlated, but my position basically was put on close to the lows, and since the market has moved up substantially from then, it's been pushing my position the entire time. It was basically under the entire time. Right now I'm left with the decision on whether I want to close that position or keep it open or not. It expires this Friday, so not much time. I've got 2 days to decide what I wanted to do, and so I'm just going to talk you through sort of my thought process there. So first bullet point here is that it's a hedge position, which typically you would want to take profit, or I take profit at 50%. Of the original or potential return. But with a hedge, you're doing it to offset something else, some sort of risk. And so in this instance, if this position was profitable, I might have even held to a 75% instead of 50% threshold. But in my case, it basically was down from day one. And so that leads me to my next bullet point, which is closing a full loss position too early is pointless. So all last week and the week before, even the beginning of this week, I could have closed this position for the full $5, or is it $100? Let me go over here to EWW. Yeah, it's 100 wide, but I have 5 contracts. So I could have closed that for the $100. Basically all last week, and I left it open, and so that's taking a risk normally, but because it's a full loss position, leaving it on doesn't really add any risk in this instance. So I guess I should restate that if you have a position that you're only down 15, 20, 30% or something like that, then it makes sense to close early. A lot of the time, if you have one that's full loss, you might as well hold it on, because what's the worst that could happen? Now, the next bullet point is the caveat. If you wait too long, though, if you wait till the last 2 or 3 days, which is where I'm at, you're at a huge risk of assignment if it's deep in the money. Incidentally, for this position, I'm right at the money, so I doubt, unless we have a huge move up or down, I would be getting assigned. So that's why I haven't closed out the position earlier. I did have the opportunity today to close around $100 or $50 loss. I didn't really try that, so I'm not sure what the fill would have been like. Maybe it would have been more than that, or maybe I could have gotten a fill. Who knows? But this really boils down to me to a gut feeling or an instinct or luck or experience or whatever you want to call it. That may make the difference between a win and a loss. So let's go ahead and go over here to Tastyworks. The EWW position is for 28 and 27. And you can see here I'm right at the cusp. If it expired tonight, which it doesn't, it will expire, Friday night, Saturday morning, then I would be making a very small amount of profit. It wouldn't be full profit, but I'd be making a decent amount. So we can see right here the trade price right now is $27.22. I sold the 27, so I need to have it go 22 cents down in order for me to be profitable. And we can see here that it's down 5% today and $1.52. So if we pull up a chart, I can just do Yahoo. Sorry for not having this pulled up earlier. But if we go to the 1 month, we can see it's basically been trading up in this range the entire time. And so it's been not even really close to a place where I could take a profit off the table. Wow. Okay. And then in the last 24 or 36 hours, we dropped significantly. I'm not really sure what the cause of that. I didn't research the news. But I do know tomorrow they're going to be announcing jobless numbers. Now, that's for America, not for Mexico, obviously. But there is some correlation between EWW and our general market. So yeah, so you can see we're up here at 47 before the crash. Then we put it way down here. If I can move let's move this up here. There we go. Okay, now we're down into the 25, and let's go see what data I actually opened this. So this was 323, I opened it. Okay, so 323. Look at that, almost the exact bottom of the market here. Let's see if we can get the volume off. I don't know where the volume indicator is on Yahoo. But anyway, so I couldn't have timed this basically worse. And we shot the whole way up here. Even down here, I think the volatility was up high enough that I still couldn't get out of the position for a profit. And we shot the whole way back up, and now we're coming back down. Now in a normal market, I would look at, we can just go with RSI, and MACD we'll throw on there. Okay, in a normal market, we can see that it is starting to roll over again and go back into a bearish territory. So I would feel pretty comfortable holding this for the rest of the week in a normal market. However, we're not in a normal market right now, so it is a bit scarier to hold this position. Another thing you can do is go into the position, and we'll select the correct expiration. And we can see this is a 59%. Now, earlier today, that was as low as 34%. So once you get down to the end of expiration, you'll see these numbers jump wildly around because they're all within $1 of each other. So it is pretty interesting to watch, but if I would say the majority of the time you should close well before now. This turns into the difference between investing or trading and gambling, in my opinion. It would have been better if I could rolled this, and I did try earlier. So I don't want to do a weekly. If I went out to the next monthly, 27, 28, right now it's showing 0, but that's because the market's closed. But it was a debit, and so I didn't want to hold on to, or I didn't want to pay to roll over. But at this point, I'm teeter-tottering in between possibly losing $60, possibly losing my max loss, which over here is $295, or possibly making my max gain $205. I'm right on that threshold where it could go either way very, very easily. The other two positions I'll just quickly mention were AMD and Microsoft. And we can see now what a difference a week or two makes. AMD I rolled for a small debit, and Microsoft I rolled for a small debit. And both of those are well within the green. And I've talked about before how these percentage gains are off. Right now this is trading at 142, Microsoft. and I need it to be at least 131 to break even after commissions, but it's very, very close, whereas before that was basically a full loss or very close. Same with AMD. If I go ahead and show that, right now it's trading at 28, and then again, that's right there. I probably could have gotten that yesterday when the market was up. So rolling even for a small debit is not always the worst idea, but I will caution you, you can really only do that once or twice before it no longer makes sense to continue to roll it for a debit. You're narrowing your margin of profit each time you roll for a debit. So typically speaking, it's better to just roll for a credit or close the position for a loss, and to do it much sooner. This is I'll say once out of every 20 or 30 positions ends up being like this, where it's right on the cusp. And I'll try to lean on the indicators to see where I think it's going to go. I have more faith in that normally because of how well they work. I wouldn't say they're foolproof by any means, but it's a better indicator because a lot of people use them. I've talked about that before. But in the market we're in now, I have less faith in indicators. The market is more spastic and does what it wants. But anyway, hopefully this wasn't too long, and let me know what you think I should do with the EWW position. Should I have sold it on Wednesday? Should I try to hold it and risk going max loss or max gain, or should I try to close it as soon as I can, whether that's a break even or a small loss? What do you guys think? Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.